Hey, listen, we've shown you cheater's espresso before, but now we're going to show you beginner's espresso using the Breville Bambino Plus here on Bean Basics. Oh, hey there. Welcome to Bean Basics with Bob and Michelle. Welcome to sunny Saugatuck, and welcome to the Ovis Lab. Hey, listen, today we're talking about espresso. And we're talking about making espresso with the Breville Bambino Plus. But let me get this big, bulky box out of the way. Now, I've done an episode on espresso before using the flare. And the flare is something that goes anywhere from $150 to $250, has no electronic parts or anything like that, but it's really fussy to use. And a lot of people said something to me about that. And so I sort of went on a journey to find an espresso machine that's approachable from a dollar perspective. This sells for $499.95 or $500. And, you know, out of the box, you can use it right away with almost zero experience, right? So if you're wanting to make espresso at home, this is a great device, this Bambino Plus. And I just want to kind of go through the machine with you a little bit. And it looks a lot more like an appliance than it does an espresso machine, right? So this Bambino Plus is very narrow, and it's not really bigger than a very big toaster, right? So if you could think about it sliding under your counter and coming at you, it doesn't take up a lot of width, and that's great, okay? Love that about this. Now, it does lack a little weight, and on the one hand, that makes it so when you insert the portafilter, you might drag the machine with you, but on the other hand, you can move it around, right? You can get underneath it and clean underneath it and move it to this side or that side with no big deal. It's made of metal and very durable plastics, but the thing I like about it is straight out of the box, it's programmed to make espresso right away. So I've just taken this out of the box, I filled it up with water, did the first cleaning cycle, and we're just ready to go. Now, one of the features I do like about the Bambino Plus is it's really easy to fill the water chamber, okay? And there's a lid that comes off where you can, you know, take some water and easily pour it in, which is great. But also, if you wanted to take the whole thing off, you could. And you could just go fill it at the sink or wherever your water source is. And I love that particular portability of this. The other thing I like is that right up top, it does have a cup warmer. So, you know, if you want to keep your cups and your saucers for espresso warm, you could do that, right? Now, later I might suggest that keeping your cups up here isn't very practical because you actually have to put your hand here in order to put the portafilter in, and you'll see what I mean in just a moment. Now today we're just going to talk about with the Bambino shooting a shot of espresso. In future episodes we'll talk about making milk and doing modifications to this to get the perfect espresso, right? But what I would say is straight out of the box you get a very, very serviceable espresso. All right. Now another feature that I love about the Bambino is the heat exchanger that's in here. The heater on this machine is ready in 3 seconds. A traditional espresso machine might take 10 minutes, 12 minutes to heat up. This one heats up right away.
3 seconds seems fast.
It is, and I haven't really tested it because who can get everything together in 3 seconds to really find that out? But the real point of it is it gets going right away, right? Now, another feature of this machine is the steam wand, and let me just turn this machine on for a moment. And the steam wand will steam milk for you. Now, we're not going to cover a lot of that today, but you can adjust the temperature on this with 3 clicks of a button, and you can adjust the amount of frothing that goes on with 3 touches of a button. And it has a heat sensor right here where when you put the the milk frothing container on top, it'll actually sense the heat and know when to shut off. So it takes very low skill level in order to produce milk. It has a single shot and a double shot choice for shooting espresso. The drip tray has really nice tolerances, like it really fits in here snugly, but it does have a nice feature too, and that's this little bobber that will come up to notify you when the drip tray is full or near full. So let me go ahead and slide that back in. I think that's all the features to really talk about. It does have pre-infusion. You know, a professional grade machine does have pre-infusion too. Pre-infusion is really good. You're basically pre-soaking the grounds ahead of time. So those are the features. Those are the main features that I think are really good and especially good for a beginner. When you open up the box, you get these cleaning tablets here, and in some future episode I'll show you how to clean. You get a single and a double filter for your portafilter.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
Those things aren't really in the shot, just so you know.
Oh, can I pull them back?
Yeah.
How about now? Okay.
That's much better.
Cleaning tablets, single, double, portafilter, right? Now, the one thing about these brew baskets is that they're double-walled, and they say dual wall, but really it's a little bit of a cheater's method. You can see the perforation on this side, right? Mm-hmm. And hang with me in the shot. There's also perforation on that side. Okay, and what that does is, since there's less perforations on this side, it builds up a false pressure. Now, keep in mind that when you make espresso, you need 9 bars of pressure, right? And this machine definitely produces 9 bars of pressure. But the question mark is, you know, when one puts espresso inside a portafilter and into a brew basket, it needs to be very, very, very fine. And often in a beginner scenario, you don't have a grinder that can produce that level of fineness, right? So by having this false pressure mechanism right here, where it will add pressure to those particular grounds, it will ensure that you get quality crema. Okay, so there's nothing bad about it, but it means that you could go out to the store and buy pre-ground espresso, which we don't recommend. But I think that the other thing that it means is that, you know, if you have like a Barazza grinder or something like that, a Barazza doesn't really, even at its finest setting, get down to a true espresso grind that'll work just fine inside this portafilter. It'll work just fine. Okay, the other things that you get that are pretty standard and necessary are a tamper, and then you get a blank. And the blank goes in the single shot, just like this, and we'll show you this in a later episode. This is a way that you clean the machine. Okay, so we're not going to use the single shot, and we're not going to use the blank, and so we're going to put that to the side. We're going to put the cleaning tablets to the side. We're definitely going to use the double brew basket, the portafilter, the tamper. We're not making milk today, so we don't need the milk pitcher. We're going to put that to the side. And then Breville gives you something called the razor, okay? And the razor is a way to sort of help ensure that you are getting your espresso to the right level. Now, I've played with this a little bit. It's a little tricky to use, but we're going to show you that it's possible to produce espresso straight out of the box with this, and basically you have no experience doing it, right? Remember, the flare was very, very fussy. This is very, very approachable. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to invite somebody out here, and if you don't mind coming right out here, Carter. Carter is our intern, right? And he's also a family friend, and I'm going to walk you through it in order to demonstrate how easy it is to use this. I'm going to walk you through making an espresso.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Carter has made espresso before.
Yeah.
And not at a Big B, but at some other unmentionable place.
Yeah, undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location.
Yeah.
So he is familiar with espresso, but he has never used this before, and
Nope.
you have never seen this before.
Not till today.
Right? Okay, so you have some knowledge, but not copious knowledge with this particular machine right here, right?
Right.
Okay, so we're going to start walking you through how to use this. And the first thing that we have to work on, of course, is we have to get the right number of beans. We have to dose our beans.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm going to push this back for us. I'm going to get our grinder right out here, right out front with everybody. And yeah, we need that.
Got this.
And I don't know. This is pretty tricky to turn on, so I'm going to turn it on for us.
Okay.
That didn't seem as tricky as it seemed. But it's not like there's any buttons on this thing, right? And I'm going to turn it around this way. And now this is what makes it tricky, right?
Right.
Now we got to tear it out. And we'll just tear that out right there.
Very
okay,
nice.
so we've gotten that to 0. And Carter's watched a lot of these videos, right?
Yeah.
So you know all about dosing out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do 16 grams of coffee in there. And so you got to read that upside down, and I wish you the best of luck on that.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh boy,
Nope.
look at that. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. So here, you're going to have to grab with your hands some of these and do your best to get it down to 16. You're at 21. You're at 19. You're at 18. Whew, 17.
Feels like New Year's.
Yeah. Oh, now you're getting close. Go by 2 beans at a time now. 16.4. 16.1. That's good.
I think we.
That's good.
That's good. That's
We call
good.
it?
That's
Great.
good. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I can take that for you.
Excellent.
All right, so now we got to give this a spritz, of course, just 1 spritz with, there you go, and that gets rid of the static, right? Because if we don't hit this with a little bit of water when it goes in here, the grounds will stick to the plastic parts and stuff like that, and we'll
Right.
have 0 retention. Remember, we were going to grind 16 grams ahead of time, but we didn't do that.
Oh, we didn't do that.
So we got to actually wait for the grinder to do the thing. But go ahead and turn on the grinder and just,
Before the...
take the lid off,
Okay.
dump the beans in. There you go.
Nice.
That's right. And hopefully people can hear me, but if not, the reason we turn the grinder on first, it gives it a much more consistent grind.
Okay.
When the beans hit when everything is already spinning.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
That makes sense. This feels like a moment. Like, I feel like we never grind things on camera. Like, this is the first of
That's right.
something.
We get to watch 16 grams of coffee get ground, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're getting to the end, and I always do something kind of goofy. I rock it back and forth to make sure all the beans got in. Sounds like they did. Go ahead and turn her on. Okay, good.
Excellent.
So,
We did it.
That's a lot to tolerate.
Yeah.
Give that a whiff and tell me what you think.
Smells good.
Oh yeah, this is a very fruity. This is actually, I don't know if you can get a shot at. So that's fine, but that's not espresso fine, right? And,
Gotcha.
and that's why we need that
Right.
special portafilter. Now on the Baratza, I set this at about an 8 because Baratza says, hey, if you want an espresso grind, set it at about an 8, right? We could take it farther down, but I'm trying to follow all the rules of the Bambino and the rules of the Encore, just to demonstrate to everybody that, okay, anybody could do this, right? Okay. Now it's time to load the portafilter, but there's one thing that we have to do first, and we have to go ahead and we want to first preheat the head a little bit. So we're going to run a little bit of water through the head, just like that. And what that does, you've seen in the videos that we do,
Yeah.
we always try to preheat everything, right?
Right.
Because if you don't preheat the portafilter, you don't preheat the head, as the water comes out, all the metal parts will steal the heat away, and we won't have a great extraction. So
Right.
now the other thing that we want to preheat is the portafilter, and I'm gonna cheat on your behalf and just put that in right there and let it run a little bit. And all I'm doing is hitting basically on and off on the single shot button, and
Okay.
that's it, right? Okay.
Right.
Whoop. All right, now we got to load that up.
All right.
Okay. And it's pretty tricky. I would take, the long corner and try to pour towards the center.
See how this
There you go.
goes.
Oh.
Well.
We're going to have to live with that. So what I'm going to do is just push this around a little bit on our behalf,
Okay.
just like this. And before you grab the razor, I'm going to have you grab the tamper.
Okay.
And just go ahead and grab that tamper and just set it right on top.
Okay.
Okay. Now, with fingers like this, I just want you to push down on that. Just push down. There you go.
Very nice. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to pull it off, and we can see that there's like still grounds and stuff all along the edge and that kind of thing. So what I like to do at this point is just give it a little tap. And that'll also take care if there's any sort of hollow spots in here. It'll
Right.
drop those grounds down. And so now I'm going to have you set this back on top again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then.
And just with light pressure, give it some turns. A little heavier than that. There you go.
Okay.
All right. That's good. Go ahead and pull that off. I think I inhaled some grounds or something.
Possibly.
Right. Now this is meant to say, well, did you hit it, right? Did you hit it right? And I'm going to just pull this forward a little bit. And it's almost like a measuring device to say, is it at the right height? Okay. And if I give it a spin, well, it looks like there's some excess. And we could just shake that off a little bit. And it would be just about right now. So in the end, I think it's pretty good that you spilled a whole bunch.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to get that flat again. And all I want you to do is rest the tamper on top and just give it a little bit of a spin.
See, this was all part of my plan.
Perfect plan.
Right?
Perfect plan. Love it. Okay, you're good.
Nice.
We got to load this puppy up. We've preheated this. We've preheated that. And we got to get it in. Now I'm going to turn this towards you. And I don't know, Michelle, if you can get in a little bit as Carter tries to load that in. What do they call this? Lock and load?
Lock
there you
and
go.
load.
Hey.
Over. Right on.
Very
okay,
nice.
Now, we're going to turn it back. And in a minute, I'm going to have you hit the double button.
Double
Because
button.
we've done
Okay.
a double. I need to get a glass underneath. I did preheat that glass. Go ahead. Oh, wait.
Yep.
Yeah, we want to time this shot. That's really important. Okay. It's really hard to turn this on.
It's a complicated machine. Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and hit the double button.
Okay. We like 3, 2, double shot.
Okay. And I want to start the timer.
Okay. And look at that.
And we want it to start flowing through at about 8 to 10 seconds. We're at 8, 9. So it did start flowing through
Hey,
at
look
9,
at that.
right?
It's like it came through like a plan.
And a double shot would be about 60 mils of water. And we want this to
Right.
finish in the 21, 22 range, and it finished at 23. So I think
Look at that.
we just poured a perfect espresso. Okay, so, well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
May I shake your hand?
Yep.
Thank you. Now, of course, I'm going to give it the quality test, but can you come in and get a shot of all that crema? I mean,
It's
it was
really
really
pretty.
a beautiful pour. Now, I roasted this coffee myself on the Bellwether roaster, so it's super fresh. It's kind of a fruity profile, but I'm going to give it a taste and see how we did. You always want to give it a little bit of a stir before you drink. You did very, very, very well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, does the Bambino Plus, is it easy to use?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Intern approves.
Intern approved, right. All right, so, you know, in the end, we do have to get our portafilter back out again, and we'll have to knock it out. We don't have a knocking device, so, you know, you'll have to, like, dump it in your trash can or something like that. That's the way that works. I'm going to show you all kinds of accessories in a future episode, that's for sure. I do want to clean off that group head, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the single dose button. Just let a little water pour through, and it's going to get all the grounds that are stuck up there done. All I have to do now is empty this tray of water, and we're done. We've made espresso. Okay. Well, Carter, thanks for helping me out.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate
This was
it.
fun.
Totally fun. And we're going to leave you with this one note. I don't know if you know what this is.
I do, I think.
Okay, so I'm going to say the first part.
Yeah.
You'll say the second part.
I'm ready for it.
Okay,
Yeah, let's
all
do
right.
it.
So, when you love the world,
The world will love you right back.
right on.
Yay!
Hey, thanks for joining us. For future episodes, click the subscribe button. Bean Basics is brought to you by OneBigIslandInspace.com with 2 G's.